Hey everybody! Welcome everyone in the chat. I have a big old surugaya box here, and I have some other stuff too. Oh, sorry, an ad just started playing on YouTube, and that really threw me off. But can you guys hear me? How does everything sound? How does everything look? Please let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me on the stream. Cool, awesome. So yeah, like I was saying, I have this big old box here, but I also have some extra stuff that I want to share. Starting with, let's see, I had some notes here. I had a little agenda. Let's see. Oh, the first thing is I have a goal. I thought you could set multiple goals, but I set a goal for this chat. A goal for this stream to try a mystery beverage. I had a bunch of goals in mind, but YouTube is not letting me set all of the goals at once. So that's the smallest goal, and once we hit that one, you get a cat print on this box. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but anyway, once we hit that first goal, then I'll just add some additional goals. It kind of sucks because all the other ones were way cooler and more exciting than try a mystery Japanese beverage. But I'm really thirsty, and I would appreciate it if somebody did give me that super chat so I could try this drink, because it's sitting right in front of me and it's cold. I had it in the fridge all day and I really want to try it. But anyway, let's get started with some of the unboxings, and then as the stream goes, I'm going to open this surugaya box last because it's the most exciting one. But the first item that I picked up that I wanted to share on stream was from eBay, actually, and I already opened it, but I'm going to share it here. I just opened it like yesterday. Oh my god, that notification sound was so loud. Holy crap, that scared me. It's this Deathscythe, Gundam Deathscythe, and hold on guys, I'll get to the chat in a sec. But I ordered this. It's one of the first models that I ever built when I was a kid, and I had wanted it for some time. I could actually show you guys what I want to do, but I ended up buying it completely assembled used because for some reason this one is kind of expensive. So I want to recreate basically this, let's see, this diorama that's in the manual here. I want to try to recreate that. So doing all the painting and yeah, making like some little sand down here at the bottom and all that fun stuff to make it look like the manual shot. So I built this as a kid and it looked horrible. It looked like crap. And so I kind of want to get like revenge on the kit, so to speak, and really do it justice. Along with the other first kit, I really don't remember which one I got first, but this is the Bolt Gundam, the old Bolt Gundam, and I got these around the same time, but I think I got the Deathscythe first. Either way, I want to do both of them, but the Deathscythe is the new pickup, and I really wish I could have bought it new, but for some reason it's like stupid expensive now. Like people are asking like $40, just crazy amounts for a kit that's that old and of that quality. So that's like the mini first item that I wanted to share. Now I'm gonna go back and check out the chat. Hi everybody. Hi Charmander Asnable. And thank you for the super chat. I can't tell you what the beverage is because it is a mystery beverage. So you guys will find out when somebody sends that $5 super chat to unlock me taste testing. I can say it is a beverage from Japan. So it's a Japanese beverage. Where's the AMA vid? Matt says, where's the AMA vid? The AMA vid is an upcoming special. And it's going to be for a very special occasion, and I'm still working on that, but it will come out. And yes, it is Red Label, old school Gunpla jank. When was it printed? I think it was, 1995. 1995, really old kit that I'm excited to have. Obi John says, I want that bolt so bad, need to complete the Shuffle Alliance. Yeah, I'm sure they'll make a new one soon. That will be way better than that one, but this is what we have for now. We'll get Pixelly's Bolt Gundam before the HGFC. Yeah, definitely. Corvidae Goodmund, I think that's how you pronounce that name, says, how was buying from Surugaya? I thought about using them to get some merch from Japan, but I was unsure. Surugaya is awesome. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I highly recommend them, especially when they have a free shipping sale. You can't go wrong. It's a great deal. It's a crazy deal to get free shipping from Japan. I feel like I should have moved the microphone before I started the stream, so I'm gonna move the microphone, so just hold on a second, guys. Okay, that should sound way better. I apologize for not having it set up that way from the beginning, and now it's probably gonna sound weird in the beginning of the VOD, but anyway, it makes more sense since I'm facing this direction to have the microphone over here. I don't really know why I had it over there. The next thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that I have some really cool, let's see, let me move these cables. I have some really cool books. And the cool thing about these books is that I'm in the books, you guys. So there's a couple of books here. And some of my builds are in the book. So the first ones are two, actually, from the same series. And it's the Cerulean Project 2024 magazine. And this is just like a little quick thing that I haven't really shared on YouTube or really social media very much. I haven't really talked about it, but it's really cool. It's basically like a charity magazine that includes a bunch of Gunpla builds and also just other mecha builds and just scale model builds and things like that. But anyway, there's a magazine version and then there's a hardcover book version. And my build is right here. This is for the magazine version, which is super cool, right? This is the build that I did for GBWC last year, not this year, but last year. The old school vintage Rick Dom 2, and yeah, they included this really nice big shot in the magazine version. And for the book version, it's even cooler because the book version, I'll just skip ahead to the section that I'm in, but the book version has multiple photographs and they're really, really high quality photos. Like, this book is incredibly high quality. I highly recommend picking it up if you want to see some cool builds. But there's this whole description over here talking about, you know, what I did, why I did it, just talking about the build, and then there's like this back shot here and things like that. So it's a really cool book. In the back, there's a bunch of information about like mental health and, you know, like just all sorts of mental health stuff, trying to help other people. And I believe the proceeds of the book go to a mental health charity. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's how the book is set up to work. So it's really cool. And there's like, I'm whacking the microphone. There's other just like really awesome builds in here by lots and lots of talented builders, but it's builders of all skill levels. And the theme each year is to do a color. So the theme for this year was the color red. And so any build, if it had the color red in it at all, was eligible to be in it. And so the person running reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to include something? And I was like, I don't have time to build something. And they're like, well, there's red. The red is in your GBWC build. So I was like, oh, okay, you're right. It does have red in it. So I was able to include it, and that was pretty sweet. I'm going to catch up on the chat now. First, I'm going to fix my microphone again. One sec, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. All right, catching up on the chat. Matt says, good old school model kits. Someone says, surugaya is, Anderon says, surugaya is terrible. Definitely don't buy the kits that I will get. Yeah, surugaya is awesome. Like I said before, it's a crazy deal to get free shipping from Japan. Anyway, so on to the second book magazine that I was in. It's Plamo Magazine Summer 2025, and in this one I had a full feature, and it was pretty awesome. Again, it's one of those things like the folks running this magazine, they reached out to me, and I was super honored that they reached out to me, and I got a spread, and it's always been my dream, it still is my dream, to be in Hobby Japan magazine. Like, I think that would be so cool as like a fan of Hobby Japan magazine forever. But this is like the next best thing, and I think it's even cooler in a way because it's in English. So I got not 2 pages, but actually 4 pages in the magazine, and I go into depth about how I did the build. There are a lot of photos here that I did share on social media when I was making it, but some that I didn't. Just going through like all the modifications I made, where I put putty, like shots of the inside of the skirt, these really awesome shots of the build before I made any modifications, so just the raw kit. And then there's these photos here, where you can see here, like in the top left there, puttying and sanding the kit, priming the kit, all different angles of the build. So it's really, really cool. And the whole magazine is awesome. Also, shout out to my friend Kegum for taking these photographs. He's an amazing, like, professional photographer, and he just took the best shots ever of this model kit. But there's lots of awesome stuff in here, like really awesome 5-star stories builds, like all kinds of cool stuff. And like I said, it's in English, so a lot of you guys are like, hey, I think Hobby Japan's cool, but it's all in Japanese, and I can't read any of it. This is a great magazine that's in English, so definitely recommend checking it out if you're into Gunpla stuff. Highly recommend it. Also, I'm in it, so now you have to buy it. For those of you just joining, YouTube added a new like goals goals feature to the live streams. So I added a small goal for first person to give a $5 super chat. I will try a mystery Japanese beverage. It is sitting on my desk and I'm very thirsty. So I'm not begging, but it would be cool. I also have some cool goal ideas after that if we hit that goal for some really, really fun stuff involving model kits directly, my backlog, and potentially buying some Holy Grail stuff on Surugaya. So, yeah, just mentioning that. I think you just click on the little, there's like a target at the top of the chat, and that opens up the goals menu, and you can see the goals and the goals we've hit for the chat. For those saying they missed the name of the magazine, I keep forgetting I have like 2 cameras. It's Plamo Hobby Magazine, and this is the 2nd issue. So you can see there, Plamo Hobby Magazine. It's the same crew that put on the Plamo, like, I forget what it's called, like the Plamo Expo or the Plamo event, which was a modeling competition and show that was just held, I think last weekend or a couple weeks ago. So really cool group of people. And yeah, that's my spiel for all the intro stuff. So catching up on the chat here. Mech Boy, thanks for joining and showing up late. WebFox says, that's so cool, must be an honor. It definitely was an honor. And Mech Boy also said, congrats, thank you. And Otaku Arium says, oh no, again, too busy working on my Gunpla. I didn't see the notifications. You're good. Thank you for joining the stream. JP is me says, hey Pixelly, how goes it? Another box of goodies from Japan. Yes, another box of goodies from Japan indeed, and I'm about to open it. So if you guys are here now, you're here just at the right time. Morphonia says, first time I see Pixelly streaming, really enjoy the videos. Thank you for coming and check out a live stream. So I'm going to open up this box and I'm going to check out what's inside. So I have a couple things in here and I've forgotten. This is the sickness of my surugaya addiction. I've forgotten some of the things that I've ordered. So, and I'm not just saying that, and this box has been sitting here for a couple days. I've been really busy. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I've really wanted to do a stream, and it's a little bit of time has passed since this has arrived. So it's been driving me crazy just sitting here in my hobby room, unopened. But I've started to forget a couple of items that I bought. So we're going to rediscover them. Some of them I definitely remember, because I've wanted them for some time. But yeah, let's just get started. Mad Dog says, that may just be me thinking out loud, but a Machine and Krieger anime is quite a long way overdue. Yeah, that would be crazy. Like an OVA or a manga. As far as I know, there's like no manga or anything for that series. Ragey Gamer says, are you familiar with the PS1 game Vanguard Bandits? I'm not, but I'd love to hear about it. And by the way, I am unboxing mostly Gunpla stuff today, but what I did realize for the folks who watch the channel that are into the video game stuff, Surugaya has a ton of import video games, and I think there's a few games that I'm interested in picking up. So I think maybe the next Surugaya unboxing might be a mix of Gunpla stuff and retro video game stuff and maybe some other cool stuff as well. So anyway, now let's get into the unboxing. I'm not going to open it right here. I'm going to pull it to the side now because I don't want you guys to see everything that's in the box. All right, so first item, they wrap everything in this like crazy plastic. Hi Bluebot, welcome to the stream. I'm just peeling out, this is like the first Hobby Japan. I ordered a couple Hobby Japans. I don't remember which ones I ordered. But this is the first Hobby Japan magazine. And it is from March 2002. and it has the perfect grade Mark II Gundam in it. And for those of you that know a little bit about me and the stuff that I'm into, of course I'm into old kits. I've never built a perfect grade, and I've been thinking for a long time, what is the first perfect grade that I'm going to build, right? And I really want to build the Mark II. I also want to build the old Wing Zero kit, but I think it's going to be the Mark II. And so there's awesome inspiration in this book for doing a killer perfect grade Mark II build. And it just looks so cool. It's just got this great old school aesthetic, not too many details. You guys know me. I don't love the Verka style of like 1,000 little niblets on everything. I like that kind of more, just more like subdued style. I'm a big fan of the Max Watanabe style of painting. I don't see that as much on this build, but it's a great build nonetheless, with some nice real subtle detail. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other awesome stuff in this book. Oh, that's nice. Look at that new zeal. You guys see that? Really cool little new zeal. Oh, look at this. A 112. See, this is the fun thing about ordering Hobby Japan. I'm just flipping through a random page. And thank you, Charmander Asnable, for the Stay Hydrated super chat. So I'm going to pause. Well, let me finish my thought. I just spoiled the drink reveal. Hold on. Let me finish my thought and then I'll do the drink reveal. Okay, my thought was flipping through a random issue of Hobby Japan and you see that somebody has scratch built a 112 scale Gundam. And that's the kind of cool stuff you're going to find in these old issues. Or is this not a scratch build? It looks like maybe just a prototype. But anyway, the way that they make these prototypes is basically they get a pro modeler to scratch build it, usually with the assistance of computers, depending on how old the Hobby Japan was. Like back in the day, they would do like just full scratch builds for garage kits. This one is the hyper hybrid model I'm seeing. But either way, it's just still insane seeing this like raw resin prototype. Anyway, that's my spiel. So that's the first Hobby Japan. Now, thank you, Charmander Asnable, for the drink. So here I have this soda from Japan. I think it's a soda. I'm unclear as to whether or not it's carbonated, but it is saku saku ringo, which is like saku saku is like crunchy, crispy, and then it's like kakugiri, which is like a cubed way of like chopping up the apple, I guess. So saku saku kakugiri ringo. And let's give it a try and see what it tastes like. It says it's only 10% juice on the outside. It just smells like apple juice. If this is just apple juice, I'm going to be pissed, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's just apple juice. It's good though. It's definitely good. It's good apple juice. It's actually like really freaking good. It's like, it's maybe one of the, I'm not just saying it for the stream, it's maybe one of the tastiest apple juices I've ever had. It's like really smooth. It's not too sweet. It's really good. If you guys are in Japan or find find this at like an Asian supermarket or something, definitely like pick it up. It's pretty sweet. It's very crispy and refreshing. So we'll just keep that to the side and I will sip on it throughout the stream. Also, you guys are right. Somebody said it in the chat. It's Dengeki Hobby Magazine, not Hobby Japan. Thank you, Pickplaw, for correcting me. I don't know why I said Hobby Japan. I think in my brain, I'm so habitually I call every magazine from Japan Hobby Japan, even when it's not. But it very clearly says Dengeki Hobby Magazine and not Hobby Japan on the front. So thank you for calling that out to not mislead anyone. There's really like 3 main big hobby magazines in Japan. And they are Dengeki Hobby, Hobby Japan, and Model Graphics Magazine. Those are the big ones that cover Gunpla. Of course, there's like a bunch of other magazines that cover more like military stuff. And there was B Club back in the day and things like that. But of the more modern magazines, Dengeki Hobby and Hobby Japan are the biggest, and then Model Graphics is kind of like to the side. I know they had some controversies with Model Graphics, but I really love Dengeki Hobby. It's an awesome magazine. Okay, I'm gonna put in a new goal, which we'll see if we get. We'll see if we get the new goal. How do I add a new goal here? Let's see. Adding a goal. Start another goal. 1 super chat. This is... I'll set this for the next 45 minutes. I will share a rare item from my backlog on camera. So we're going to start that new goal. If you guys want to see something rare from my backlog that I've never shared before, you're gonna want to go ahead and drop a super chat in the chat. Let me catch up with the chat before I keep unboxing. Guys, there's really cool stuff in this box, by the way. And I'm not trying to say it to hype it up, but there are some things in this box that I've wanted for a really long time. And I don't know if anyone has ever talked about on YouTube before. I'm not entirely sure if anyone has talked about them on YouTube before. Let me see. I can see a dome I'm working on. I dislike tons of warning labels. Reiji says, chug, chug, chug. I'm not chugging. Ringo, my favorite beetle. Have work in the, I think WebFox is saying the morning? I'm not sure what you're saying there. RIP mystery drink, yes. Have work in the morning. Best of luck on the stream and night to the chat. Good night, WebFox. Sergio says apple juice snore. Japanese apple juice, best juice ever. Yeah, I agree with that, Sergio. Luna says, where does new type fit in? I see them a bunch on Surugaya too. Luna, new type is more of an anime and manga magazine. They will cover model kits from time to time, but they're definitely not like a model kit magazine. Reiji says, at this point, are we sure Dengeki Hobby and Hobby Japan are 2 separate entities? LOL. Unclear on that. And then Reiji also says, don't forget to like the stream. Yeah, guys, if you are hanging out watching, definitely like and thumbs up the stream. It helps boost its visibility, and that is much appreciated. And then, yeah, JPSme says new type is focused on anime and manga mostly. Yes, that is correct. Okay, next item in the box. I will quit blabbering. We got more magazines here. Another Dengeki Hobby magazine. And now, I am unclear on this, but if anybody wants to help me verify, I think this might be the first issue of Dengeki Hobby magazine. I could be wrong. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this might be the first issue of Dengeki Hobby magazine. It is January of 1999. I don't have any... I did not see any Dengeki Hobbies older than that on Surugaya. But... could be wrong. I don't know. But it's just I just thought it was cool to pick up a cool old issue of Dengeki Hobby magazine with a great shot on the front of this nice, I think this is like a big build, custom RX-78. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's like a bust model. This really big bust model here. It looks pretty cool. So, so this is a better example of somebody doing the scratch build. You can see how they scratch built this bust model and just did like a crazy job putting it all together. It looks really, really super cool. So that is another issue of Dengeki Hobby Magazine. And we're going to keep going through all the magazines so we can get to the really good stuff. And what do I have here? Okay, here's an interesting one. This is a new issue of Dengeki Hobby Magazine from recent years. And you know it's from recent years because in old issues, the Dengeki is in kanji. And in the new versions, they started writing Dengeki out in Romaji, or like in English, basically. So that's how you know it is a newer issue. And I saw the High New Gundam on there, and I thought it looked super cool. This issue is like crazy thick too, by the way. If you compare these, it's like almost twice as thick as these older issues. So very curious to check this out. And it looks like it has this awesome poster in the front of the High New Gundam there. So that's pretty cool. Oh, nice. And this is the one that I'm working on. So I'm actually snap building this exact kit right now, and it's cool that it's this old kit. It's not the Verka, it's that old master grade. And seeing what they did with it is super, super cool. So whenever I'm building a kit, I tend to like to seek out issues of the magazine that are focused on that kit. It's yeah, it's just really fun. Catching up with the chat. If you're a gamer, Famitsu is one of the most famous and long-running gaming magazines in the world, 39 years and counting. Yes, that's true. It's always fun to pick up old issues of Famitsu on Surugaya as well. Nerdy Kimchi Taco says, how do you get all these mooks? Surugaya. Surugaya free shipping sales, and you can get these for like $3 to $5 each. Sometimes they're more, sometimes they're like $8 or $9. But they're super cheap from Japan, free shipping. Otaku Ariam, you're completely right. They are in mint condition. Just absolutely mint condition. Lots of great stuff in here. Gundam stuff, like Votom stuff, like you guys can see. Just pages and pages and pages of amazing stuff. Here you got some Dunbine stuff. It's just Transformers. Like, they've got everything. Zoids. Like, anything you could want, hobby-wise, it's going to be in Dengeki Hobby. So, definitely worth picking up on those free shipping sales. For those of you tuning in late, thank you again to Charmander Aznable for the super chat that unlocked this tasty Japanese apple juice, which I picked up from the Asian supermarket. And we are taste testing tonight, and it's very tasty apple juice. I think I have one more book, and then we're going to get to the really cool stuff. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. I did not plan that this would be the last one, but it's actually, I remember that I ordered this, and I remember how excited I was to get this. I'm very, very excited about this one, you guys. So this is a really old issue. Like a really, really old issue of Hobby Japan from 1985. So this is way back before I was even born. Old issue of Hobby Japan. And it has this super dope build of a really... I don't know if it's a full scratch or if it's based on the old Marasai kit. I think it's based on the old Marasai kit. But it's built in this like Kondo or Kobayashi style way, and it just looks super cool. So yes, it is very small and tiny. You compare it to the other magazines, it's much smaller. Those old issues of Hobby Japan are much smaller. It's very thin, but let's see if we can find that build in there. And you can just see like these really cool old builds. as modelers, we're still really learning a lot of the techniques that we take for granted today. So when you see a good build in these old magazines, you know they went like crazy above and beyond to do everything that they're doing. They had less tools, they had less techniques. You couldn't look up how to do stuff on YouTube. It was a totally different era. So when you see a really good build from this era, like, you know that they really have a very, very high skill level. So I'm missing it. Was it in the beginning, or is it gonna be later? So I see it here, but if the whole feature build is in black and white, that's insane. It's gotta be in color. Oh, here it is. I missed it. Okay. So this build, I guess they probably explain it in the black and white section. But if you guys can just see, like, all those crazy details on the weaponry, like, all of that stuff is just, like, full scratch made out of styrene plates. There ain't no 3D printing back in 1985, I'll tell you that. No 3D printing, 100% just pieces of styrene and resin molding pieces from just other kits and re-sculpting them. Just really, really cool. Handmade. Super handmade. Basically, it's like sculpture. Like a work of art. It's super cool. So I'm going to look over this with a freaking magnifying glass because it's so cool. And then they have these black and white sections. Unfortunately, a lot of these old issues have a lot of black and white, but you can see different diagrams and things that they used, different angles of planning the build, all this really cool stuff. And yeah, very, very cool. They got some other stuff in here that's cool too, some Votom stuff, some old school Super Robot stuff. Oh, naked lady. Hope I don't get in trouble for that, but yeah. Sometimes you will find that with like the fantasy models and sci-fi models, especially from the older issues, Japanese magazines. Sometimes you'll find that, but very, very cool Marasai build. Catching up with the chat here. I got rid of my big format. Hobby Japan's takes up too much space. Less interesting. Interesting. They definitely do take up more space, but they do have cool stuff in them. I haven't been as impressed with the new issues of Hobby Japan. Like the new issues from like 2025, 2024. They just don't get me as excited. But that's just me. I like the retro stuff. I like going back in time. This apple juice is really good, you guys. Easier to preserve over magazines. Oof, that issue is as old as I am. It is in better shape too. Yeah, Mechanical Mayhem, the books are they're in really good shape, even though they're really old. Pick Plus says the photography had a better vibe back then. It definitely had a different vibe. I think just shooting it on film cameras and all that stuff, it had a really cool vibe. Sergio says, love the gun rocket launcher on the Marasai. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet looking weapon. What else? I think 3D printing, that would be harder than scratch build even now. Imagine trying to smooth a 3D print with that many details. It depends. I mean, a lot of people in Gunpla do 3D printing and just smooth out the pieces, and it looks great in their builds. It really depends on the quality of your 3D printer and like the materials you're using. Yeah, like Luna said, you can print in resin now, which comes out smooth, but it's very expensive. Did you get hit by the tariffs when ordering Gunpla from Japan? Silent running, no tariffs. I don't know how Surugaya is doing this, but they're shipping this stuff. I'm not getting hit by tariffs. I did read that for packages under $100 in value from Japan, you're exempt from tariffs. So I've tried to make sure that all my packages are under $100 in total value. And the loophole for that is if you hit $100, if you can, just don't get a single item over $100 and then break it up into individual orders, and then that should help you get through. I mean, don't quote me on that, but that's what I've done so far, and I haven't gotten hit by any tariffs. So that's my bit there. Luna says, I'm thinking of making an Engage Zero Young Lavin, and 3D printing is defo gonna be involved. Trying to scratch build 10 identical funnels sounds like torture. Yeah. For high repeat items like that, it can be really hard to scratch build a lot of pieces. But that's where molds come in. You make a mold and then you just remold the piece. Anyway, now we are getting into the model kits. And I have a really cool couple of model kits here to share with you guys. So starting out, and these are vintage, and they are rare. And this one sadly got a little bit crushed. And I don't know if it got crushed in the box or if it was crushed before I ordered it, but I'm still happy to have it. Do you guys know what this is? Do you guys know what this is? Do you guys know which anime this is from? This is a pretty rare model kit by Bandai, red label. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And we're going to take a look at it. I've wanted this for a long time. I think it's really cool. And if you guys know anything about me, there's nothing that I love more than building a model kit that nobody else builds. There's something so fun about building a model kit that nobody else builds. I don't know what it is, if it's just because I'm a hipster, but I find it incredibly satisfying. Yes, it is Gasaraki, which is an old school mecha anime. Very cool mecha anime. I actually did a video called, I don't remember which it was. It was like 5 anime better than Gunpla. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one. 5 anime better than Gundam, not Gunpla. Gunpla's not an anime. And it was either the volume 1 or volume 2, but one of them talked about Gasaraki, and it's a really cool anime. So we have the box here. You guys can see it got a little bit crushed, which is a shame, but I can probably like pop that out. I don't know. But as always, Surugaya coming in clutch with the brand new model kit sealed in the bags. These are old school bags, taped shut. This one is like a regular, just like sealed plastic bag. I've never understood why sometimes when you order old model kits, do you guys know this? Sometimes some of them are stapled, like in the same model kit. Half the bags are stapled or taped, and then the other half are like sealed regular bags. I don't understand why they do that, but that's how they are in this one. Some more runners here. And then this is the good stuff, which is the manual here, which they have basically in like this plastic sheet that you would put like a comic book in. And guys, this is like mint. This is like absolutely mint. And this is my inspo. So this model kit is from an era of Bandai models when I don't know who the modeler was at Bandai doing all these pack shots, but they had an insanely talented modeler or modelers that did these photos. Like, this is an impeccable paint job, amazing sanding, seam line removal, tasteful weathering. It just looks really cool. The figure over here is painted really, really nicely, and it's a really cool figure. And I'm not gonna lie, the reason that I bought this model is because of this figure, and I have something really fun planned with this figure, and then maybe some other pieces from this model. But just such a cool, look at it, cool gimmick with the hatch opening like that. Really great art inside. They just don't make the manuals like they used to. I say that all the time, but they just really don't. You got some more shots here on the back. Really, really cool model with cool gimmicks. And then this, I'm not sure what this is. Mission Director. Oh, this is really cool. So this is like advertising a Gasaraki game. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It looks like a Gasaraki card game. Or a board game. Like a board game, card game hybrid, maybe? That's cool. I never heard of that. That's super neat. That's really cool. So that is the first Gasaraki one, and it looks like it actually, if you look really closely, it looks like it comes with two figures, one sitting down that goes inside the model, and then one here that stands. So that's pretty cool. The Shinden armor from Gasaraki. Catching up with the chat here. Let's see. How long does, JPSme says, how long does a typical build take you? It really depends what's going on, like how many videos I'm working on, what I'm doing, how complicated the build is. The actual building time doesn't take me that long. It's more all the perfectionist stuff that takes freaking forever, like sanding, seam line removal, especially if it's a vintage kit. But if it's not a vintage kit, like I did the Witch from Mercury Lefrith or the Rubris in like 3 days, like painted just like a simple paint job with no customization and things like that, because it's a modern kit that doesn't require it that much. But for other kits like my GBWC stuff, that could take 6 months. So it really depends on the model, how old it is, and what I'm trying to achieve with it. Need a new HG Gasaraki line. Yeah, that'd be cool. Otakuarium says, unless maybe someone just opened the bag but go further and they reseal it. Maybe. That could be it too. Blue Blot says, looks great. The vintage Plamo trend tend to have the non-heat sealed bags. Maybe the parts that could be lost were heat sealed. This was during the decade recession, so they probably couldn't afford heat sealing. Interesting. Are those rare old kits, are they very expensive on Surugaya? These kits were about $30 to $35 each. So a little bit expensive, but not like crazy expensive. Zanzibar says, can't believe some people spend more than a year on a single kit. I am working on a build right now, Zanzibar, that's going to take me more than a year, I can tell you right now. And that's a secret build that I have a members only video that talks about it, but that build is going to take me a long time. So for my last item of the night, another Gasaraki kit. And thank you guys all for watching this far into the stream, by the way. Definitely give the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. We have a goal going for the channel if you want to keep the stream going a little bit longer. A super chat goal where I will share a rare item from my backlog on camera. And yeah, I can do that one unlimited times. For as many super chats as we get, I will keep showing rare stuff from my backlog. I have a couple things that I don't think I've ever shared on the channel before that are pretty rare. So it could be really fun to do. But yeah, that's a goal. You can click the little target at the top and you can see the goal for the super chats. Hemi-chan says, hi. Hi, Hemi-chan. Welcome. So this is the last item. It's the Raiden armor from Gasaraki. It's #1 in the series, and this one is pretty close to mint. It has this little ding on the side of the box here. But other than that, it looks really fantastic. Let's open it up here. Everything is sealed. Brand new from Surugaya, even though this model kit, let's see if it has the year on it, 1998. And it is still sealed and crispy. And you got all the runners here, as well as some decals, which are pretty cool. I'll probably use some custom decals or water slides from other Gunpla kits, but pretty cool. Some figures there. And then once again, what I was talking about, the same as the other kit, just this absolute masterpiece of a manual shot. There we go. Let's get a nice and focus there. Just incredible modeling. And so I can talk a little bit about what I'm planning. So for this model, I want to use this model kit, which I tend to favor, and the figure. I'll just open it up so we can look at both at the same time. So I want to use the model kit from the right-hand side and the figure from the left-hand side, mostly because I think the figure from the right-hand side kit has like a very derpy face. You know, sometimes you get those really little, tiny little figures and the faces just look goofy as heck. So to avoid having a really goofy looking figure in my build, I'm going to do this one with the helmet that looks a lot less goofy and looks really cool. So that's my plan. And again, just a really awesome manual, awesome paint job with really cool gimmicks. How the hatch opens up, there's another figure inside there. Really cool poses you can do with this kit. And some fun gimmicks there, like pieces that come off and reveal like little kickstands and things like that. So really cool kits for Gasaraki. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do like a modern, really painted up, customized build of either of these models. So I think it'll be really cool to do. And I think that's probably going to do it for the stream, or close to it. Let's catch up with the chat here. Pickpla says, secret build where a bonsai tree grows over your kit. Thank you, Joel, for the super chat. Oh my gosh. I have to change that super chat noise because it keeps scaring the bejesus out of me. Thank you, Joel, so much for the super chat. All right, we hit the goal. So I will go into the secret stash and I will pick something really rare and really cool to share with you guys that I do not believe I have shared on the channel. Do not believe I have shared on the channel. I have an idea in mind. I actually have two ideas in mind, but I'm not sure which one I'll show. But I'll just leave these here. I'm gonna go to the secret stash, and thank you, Joel, again. I am gonna go grab something cool. I'll be right back. Alright, I have something really cool here. Guys, I don't think I've shared this on the channel, but sometimes, God, I share so much stuff, I don't always remember what I've shared and what I haven't. So if I have, I apologize, but I'm definitely going to share it at least in a way that I've never shared it before, which is really showing you the whole thing put together. We got to clear space because this is big. Here we have the 1/60 scale Gundam F91. It just says here, what is the grade of kit, you might ask? Is it high grade? Is it perfect grade? Is it master grade? No, this is just 1/60 big scale. Just big scale is the type of model. And this is one of the sickest box arts, in my opinion. Everything about it is so good. In my opinion, this is what a Gundam box should be. Like amazing typography, really cool logo, really cool illustration, great just shelf presence. This thing looks freaking awesome. Really cool how the illustration also like goes beyond and goes around the side of the box. It's just so cool. Really cool side of the box. And let's show the back of the box as well. You can see the model here. Painted up, actually. It is painted here. I haven't painted mine yet, although I do have dreams and aspirations of painting it, for sure. But it's a really cool kit, and what's interesting about this kit is different than any other Gunpla kit. Although it is definitely a Gunpla kit, it's not a figure. It comes with a pre-assembled frame that's built with ABS that feels a lot like a figure or a toy. If you've ever seen those 1/60 scale Gundam DX figures that are built in that like really shiny ABS plastic, it's like half that, but it comes with runners. And I put the rest of it together. It has some cool gimmicks like hatches that open and things like that. And I'm actually going to get the kit that's all built up, and I'm going to show it for you guys on stream. Thank you to Joel again for the super chat. Yeah, it's very similar to the HGEX line. I've been trying to collect, like I said, all of the HGEX kits, and I consider this one like a spiritual sibling to the HGEX kit. So there's basically 5 kits. There's the 1/60 scale big scale F91. There's the 1/60 scale Wing Gundam. And then there is the 1/60 scale HGEX Victory 2. The 3 HGEXs, the Victory 2, the Shining, and the God. Those are the 3 HGEXs. But then there's this and the Wing, which are not HGEX officially, but in many ways they share a lot of the same qualities. So all of that said, I'm going to go get the kit and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so I have a kit here, and I'm going to lay it down so you guys can see it. But for scale, this is the high grade Lafrith or Rubris. It's really hard to pronounce. And here is the 1/60 scale F91. It is a really cool kit. It has some really cool gimmicks. One of my favorite gimmicks is that the little cockpit opens there. I think that's cool. Always like a cool opening cockpit. And then this is kind of hard to show on camera just with the camera angle I have. But basically, if you push down on the legs, let's see if I can get it to happen. You push down, the vents, I guess, open up. So it's like spring loaded. Whoop, there you go. So they kind of pop open with that spring action, which is really cool. Also the fins, I guess, on the side open up. If you see these gaps here, it's because I planned on planned on painting it. So when I plan on painting something, I don't like fully squeeze everything together. So sometimes the old kits will look worse than they actually are because I just don't want to like fully squeeze it together if I plan on taking it apart. But the head falls off. That's one thing that sucks about this kit. The helmet always falls off of the head. But other than that, it's really cool. It has this giant shield, and then my favorite is this giant weapon. Like, it's all gonna fall apart now because I have it very loosely put together. I'll just lay that down right there with the head falling off. But look at the size of this bazooka. It's like absolutely huge. It's so cool. And it has a lot of detail on it too. Like a lot of really cool detail that you can't see because I haven't panel lined it, but you guys are just going to have to take my word for it. It's got a lot of nice detail that will definitely come out when you do some masking and panel lining. So a very cool little weapon. And catching up with the chat here. It's written there, big scale. Yeah, they're just like, yep, what is this? What is this kit? It's big. What are we going to call it? Big scale. It's more of an action figure you assemble. I would not disagree with that. What else? Is this a pre-grade system? It's not pre-grade system. I believe they had high grades during this time. It's just not all of the kits were high grade. Otakarium says it's huge, big, and Corvi Dies says big boy. Yes, it is a big boy. Never seen a kit with a gimmick like that before. I remember losing my mind with pistons on the Master Grade Barbados. Yeah, the gimmick is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool gimmick. Just to push down the kit and have it pop open like that. Everybody's saying sick. Looks great. Big boomstick, yes. Essentially a high-res model precursor. Kind of. Yeah, I can see that. Bluebot says, do you plan on painting it? Yes, I do. I do. I always plan on painting pretty much everything I buy because I'm a psycho. But yeah, that's the F91. It also has these weapons, which are cool. They pop open. These are like rifles. This little scope pops out. Oh no, this is the handle, right? That's the handle. Pops out. And there's another handle that pops out here too. It's kind of hard to get, which I'm going to get it like stuck now. Oh, there it is. So there you go. And then that becomes a rifle. And it's got two of these. Those are pretty cool. It also has this more regular style of rifle. So it comes with like a lot of cool stuff. I think it also comes with a beam saber, which I have in the box right now because it's not like equipped with the beam saber, but it's got nice gimmicks like the side here, this like rotates and things like that. So it is pretty cool. And yeah, I'd highly recommend it if you can find it for a good price. It is, as far as I can tell, it's pretty durable. Oh, one other interesting thing about it, let's see, as I'm totally going to destroy this on camera for you guys, is going to make it a pain for painting. And it's partially why I haven't really started painting it yet, is this F91 is actually molded into the plastic. So it's not a decal. They did that old school technique that Bandai used to do in like the in the late 80s, I think, or early 90s, of molding plastic into plastic for color separation, which means that basically to do this, I'm basically going to just have to putty over it, sand it down, and then find decals or custom decals or something of that size, and then just like re-decal it. But it's a shame painting over such a cool, like somewhat rare way of manufacturing plastic. But yeah, that's just a cool little thing I like to point out. And it's pretty flat. It has some texture to it where you can feel the two molds come together. But overall, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty seamless. So that's the F91. Famously small kits, not this one. Yeah, it's about the size of the Master Grade Sazabi, which is like a pretty big Master Grade. So it's not as big as like a perfect grade, but it's not too small. Otakuarium says, couldn't just mask it. I guess you could mask it. You probably could mask it out, Otakuarium. But I think it would be really hard to mask out those curves and have it look super smooth. Joel says, awesomeness, thank you for sharing that kit, Ellie. Totally agree with you on the box art. It is sick. It definitely is sick. Yeah, they just don't make them like they used to. That's for sure. Using the indents as a guide. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Using the indents as a guide. I'm gonna do a new, guys, what the hell? I really like sharing rare stuff from my backlog. So no pressure. Of course, there's never pressure to super chat. I'm happy that you guys are just here to hang out. But I am going to do another goal of the same goal. And I'll put 30 minutes and I'll put open another rare model from my backlog. Or let's see, share another rare model from my backlog. Start goal. There we go. So there's another super chat goal. It would be fun to share one more rare thing with you guys before I go for the night. I was going to wrap it up and then I was like, I don't know. There's so many people in the chat, or you guys are fun to hang out with. I'm really enjoying this stream. So I have this giant closet behind me. If you guys haven't seen my hobby room tour video, definitely check it out. But there's this giant closet like right behind my laptop where I have a lot of backlog stuff, a lot of stuff that I've snap built truly. So it's not like true backlog, snap built stuff that I am scheming to paint and how I'm going to paint it. But there's quite a few unassembled things in there. But most of it I try to be good and I try to at least snap build it and get some enjoyment out of it before I hoard it for the rest of my freaking life, planning how I'm going to paint it and do a crazy diorama for literally every model I buy. Let's see. Sergio says, how much of this kit can be taken apart? Sounds like it will require extra attention when you start painting. I would say the majority of it can be taken apart. Most of what was pre-assembled was the inner frame. And for that, I think you can really just get away with probably painting it. Things like these little gray areas, I think you just go ahead and paint that like metallic inner frame and it's going to pop through the armor and look cool. There are a few parts that were pre-assembled that I'm definitely going to have to pry apart, but I don't think it'll be any different than prying apart a basic, just like snap together kit that you've already snapped and now you have to use a part separator and pry it apart. Bluebot says, might be able to mask using silly putty. Definitely an option. I'm just concerned about getting it perfect, and to get it perfect, I know the best thing to do is use a decal. Masking fluid, yeah, that's another option. Bluebot says, I have no backlog. Congratulations. I think there's a lot of people that would love to have no backlog. PicPlus says, no way, just put wide tape over it and cut it out with a design knife. I could try that. You know, I could always try masking it, do a test, see how it comes out, and if I don't like it, then putty it and try to use decals. Corvidai says, looks at my own backlog that I just added because I grabbed a real grade Epion when I could get my hands on it. Cool, very cool kit. I haven't built a real grade since they first came out. Thank you for the super chat, Adam. Should I get Char's perfect grade Gundam or the regular Zaku? Well, if you're not going to paint it, I would say, I think the Char's one is a little bit more unique. Oh my god. Cools with the $50 super chat. That's insane, dude. A $50. Well, first let me honor Adam before I freak out. Adam, you should get the Char's perfect grade because it's more unique. It's more expensive, so that's the thing too. If you're going to paint it, just get the green one because it's cheaper and then just paint it red. Don't spend the extra money on the red one. If you're not going to paint it, get the red one. It's cooler. It's more unique. Your friends are going to think it's cooler if you have Gundam friends. It's just a better like conversation piece. Like, oh, I have the rare Char's one. So that's my opinion for Adam. Cools with the $50 super chat. That's insane. I feel like I have to share like more than one rare backlog item now. So maybe I'll grab two. But that's crazy. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I think that's the biggest one ever since I started doing live streams. So that's just super cool. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. And Bluebot says, yeah, if you use tape, just use a toothpick to set the tape in the small ridge and then cut perhaps. Yeah, that's definitely an option I could try. I think I might experiment with it before masking and putty and all that stuff. So all that said, I'm going to clear this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to bring not one, but two really cool, rare backlog items for you guys to see. And this is so much fun. Guys, this is like, I keep buying stuff from Surugaya just because I have so much fun opening it and sharing it all with you guys on stream. So I'm definitely going to start working on my next order. Thank you to everybody who super chatted, by the way. That super chat money is going to go toward my next Surugaya order so I can order more stuff and open it and share it with you guys. So thank you everyone who super chatted tonight. I'm going to go grab some more cool backlog stuff. Alright, I realize I have spoiled it by putting them right on the desk. Like a fool. Like an absolute fool, I put them right on the desk and showed everybody. But now I have taken them off the desk. So I will start out with this one. Because I think this one is really, really cool. And this one is a vintage kit for sure. These are pretty old. I have not built it, but I want to build it. Yeah, spoilers alert for sure. And this is a kit that builds a diorama. And this is something that I wish if Bandai came out with today, with all the modern stuff that they have, they could do such a cool version of this, you guys. Just such a cool version. Imagine like a modern kit with modern molding techniques and all that stuff, where you have everything you need to make a cool diorama. It would just be game changing. But anyway, they did it back in the day. They could do it again. It's a bunch of small model kits. You can see here, look at this really tiny dom. Almost like a D&D figure, or similar to the new Gundam like tabletop game size, even smaller than that. Maybe these other ones are similar to the tabletop size. Really small model kits. This one has a dom as well as a Zeong, which is cool. But then it also has this terrain here. And you paint up the terrain. It's cool. It's got this like, it's got a lot of variety. So it's got this metal section over here. You can mask it out and do metal. It's got these craters where you can do, you know, your weathering, and the metal has been destroyed. It's got a hole in the middle here, but it does come with a little, you can see it, this little green rock. It goes over the hole like that and covers it up. But it's really cool. And it also comes with something else that's interesting, which is it comes with this fun little printed backdrop that's all like airbrushed. super old school style. And you pop it in the back here. And it becomes like your little diorama backdrop. So you put your little figures here. And you set up your little diorama. It's got some little holes in the ground where you're supposed to put like basically like tiny versions of like Gundam action bases to hold up the models. But it's just so cool that they did this. And you get a nice little diorama for people that might not want to scratch build a base and things like that. I could go on about it for days, but it would be cool if they revisited this concept. And if you were curious, there are multiple models in this series. I'm just going to put it back in the box here. So there are, well, here's a picture of it kind of put together and painted up there. And yes, it looks like those really old school, like stiff models, but I just love the idea of it so much. And I think on the side of the box, what does it show you? It shows you some of the other dioramas here. So there's one with a goof, there's one with a GM and a Zagok, there's a gun tank here. So they did a few in this series, and I just think it is such a cool series. Again, I just wish they would revisit it. It's really cool. And this is fun because this is like a little weekend build. Somebody asked earlier in the stream, how long does it take you to do a build? It really depends. If I'm doing something for GBWC, it's like 6 months. But if I do something like this is like a fun project, maybe like 2 weekends, super casual, just having fun, painting stuff up. And yeah, just like a really simple, fun vintage build. Okay, so new discovery with this apple juice. Sorry, the apple juice. Thank you again to Charmander Asnable for the super chat that unlocked the mystery Japanese drink, which is this apple juice. It has bits of apple in it, which I wasn't expecting. Yeah, like real bits of apple floating in the apple juice. I guess kind of like orange juice with pulp, but this is like apple juice with apple chunks in it. I don't think I've ever had that before, but very interesting. All right, I'm going to catch up with the chat before I share the next item. What's everyone currently building? Spoiler alert. Soon Pixeli will need an extra house, or at least build an addition to the surugaya for the surugaya yard purchases. Yeah, I love opening stuff with you guys, but eventually I will run out of space. But I won't let that stop me, you guys. I'm going to keep buying stuff on Surugaya. It's like my favorite thing to do is just like cruise around on Surugaya and see what new items they've added. Bluebot says nice additions on the details on the base. Corvidai says cool, wish they still had diorama kits. Imagine Unicorn versus Banshee kit or an aerial rebuild versus Calibarn. Dude, that would be so sick. It's such a missed opportunity for them to not do it. Such a missed opportunity. Young Freud says that looks cool. Oh, welcome, Young Freud, by the way. I think joining the stream late, but thank you. I don't mean that in like a negative way. I just mean like I didn't see you in the chat earlier and I see you in the chat now. So thank you for coming to hang out. What are you sipping on? Yeah, like I said, it's this Japanese apple juice. Let me make sure I close it so it doesn't leak. It's saku saku, which is like crispy, crunchy apple juice that I picked up at the Asian supermarket. Okay, so now the last item for the night. I'm getting a bit tired. It's getting a bit late. And I talked about this one on my Vintage Gunpla channel, which is a channel that I haven't really made videos for lately, but it's just a more casual, just like unboxing Gunpla channel. Not as like, I don't make the like more polished, edited videos that I make on the Pixeli channel there. But I did open this there, and I picked this up in Japan, and this is a very rare. I can't believe, guys, I got this for a steal. In Japan, I don't know if the shop didn't know what it was worth or what, but I got this for a steal in Japan. I think like less than $20, if I remember correctly. And this is the very rare Wave Models VO 1/144 scale Sofubi kit. And it's very aged. It's got some stains on it, things like that. But this is a soft vinyl kit where you have to actually go in and take a knife or take scissors and cut the pieces out from all of this excess soft vinyl. So it's not like resin. As far as I understand, it's a little bit safer of a material to work with than resin, but it's like soft and squishy. Do you guys see this? So typically Sofubi would be like, if you think of like old vintage like Godzilla toys or like Super Sentai toys and things like that, or like I should say Ultraman more than Super Sentai, they're like soft vinyl, right? So this is like that. But what's interesting is it's a hybrid, like full action Sofubi kit. So it also has runners and plastic parts, and it's half Sofubi, half plastic. So it has like a frame, not an inner frame in the way of like a master grade, but it does have like an inner frame that holds all the joints together and does all the articulation. And then a few like really fine details are done with plastic. It also comes with springs for piping and things like that, which is cool because that would be more of like a custom modification that you would do nowadays. It would be like a cool, like adding some custom springs instead of using plastic. So it comes with a few springs, which is really cool, of a few different sizes. And it comes with poly caps. And I think that's just a warning. And then it comes with some cool decals, which I love. I need to scan these and give them to my friend Equip, who is really cool and is a member of the Discord and also posts really cool builds on Instagram, Equip Gunpla. But basically Equip, whoops, I almost threw it there. Equip has like a little project where they scan these vintage decals, and then I think they're like archiving them, like up-resing them, and then like reprinting them out on newer paper so they have like good glue, because Bandai does not make these well, this is not even Bandai, this is Wave, but just they don't make decals with this type of design anymore. And it's just a really cool style, like the way that they have funnel written there. It's just a cool old school vibe to the way they do the decals. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see just different parts here. Part of the rifle that you have to cut off that piece of plastic, piece of vinyl. Here's like little bits. So I know Henry McClellan, who's like an OG Gunpla YouTuber, has a video on doing a Dom kit that's soft vinyl. And that video is going to be like my guide for how I put this thing together. But this is like one of my top priorities for things I want to build. Like I really want to build this kit. It's a new experience, stepping away from plastic models and doing soft vinyl, doing something different. And that's what I'm all about. Like I love doing something different, pushing your skills, seeing what you can do. In doing something different, I will probably screw it up, but I just really love, I don't know, doing new, different stuff. So I'd also like to do like a resin kit at the same time. And most importantly, can we all just admire this box art? This just insanely cool box art of the O with this amazing oil painting. I don't know if it's oil. It looks like oil, but I guess it could be acrylic. Awesome painting by Yoshiyuki Takani, one of my favorite artists in the Mecha Gundam world. Really special model. Anyway, time to catch up with the chat a bit. Currently working on some Daiso Connect base hangers. I airbrushed them, adding the stickers at the moment. Oh, that's really cool. I've heard of those Daiso hangers. I saw Mecha Gaikotsu did a video on them. They look pretty cool. Young Freud says, yeah, I just joined. Welcome again. Nerdy Kimchi Taco says, I can't escape the tariff prices on Surugaya. I haven't seen tariff prices on surugaya unless something has changed since I looked yesterday. But maybe you live in a different area than me. I live in the United States. Pretty cool design, like the box art too. A lot of people saying the box art is sick. It is sick. Cool says that as well. The art is nice. Obi John says, I just saw the Bolt review on that channel. Wow, that's going to be crazy hard to build. Pick Plus has never seen that, and that's incredible. Young Freud says, very cool. Will acrylic paint stick to vinyl or will it crack? So these are built for painting, and so acrylic paint should stick to the soft vinyl, as far as I understand, with primer and all of that stuff, the same as a plastic model kit. That's my understanding. I do know, again, Henry, who you guys should all check out. He has a great channel, Henry McClellan. He hasn't posted in about 3 years or something like that, but he did a soft vinyl Rickdom, and I do believe he uses lacquers, but he did not have any issues with the lacquer. And he actually did something really interesting, which is he painted the kit and then he dipped it into boiling water to soften it so that he could pop the parts into place. So not only did the paint survive, and this is lacquer paint, it's not acrylic paint, but not only did the paint survive that being on the soft vinyl, but it survived going in boiling water, which is like insane to me. And the kit looks amazing. A really amazing Rickdom soft vinyl kit. Reiji says, do you have the 1/100 Wave Sazabi kit? No, that is a holy grail of mine. I was actually talking about it on the Discord recently. I don't know if all you guys are on the Discord, but if you're not, you should join the Discord. There's a link at the top of the channel. It's totally free. You don't have to be a channel member or anything to come join the Discord. And in there we have a channel. I was gonna say like chat room because I'm so old, but like a channel called Rare Kits where we talk about all the rare kits and things that we find online. And I was posting pictures of that recently because I would love to have that 1/100 Wave Sazabi. It's so cool, such a unique mold. I know people say it has issues, but it's just so cool looking. But all that's to say I don't have it, Reiji. Someone from Korea or with a Korean name is here, which is super cool. Welcome to the chat. I cannot read Korean, so I do not know how to pronounce your name, but welcome to the chat. And then Blue Bot says, I'll post one of the Daiso bases in the Discord. Just posted it. Awesome. I will check that out after the stream. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. It's been a long stream. It's getting late. Again, thank you to everybody for the super chats. This was super fun. I'm going to use all of the money from the super chats to place another surugaya order so we can have another stream soon, hopefully soon. I do have the AMA video on the way. I'm going to be working on that and sharing it in the near future. And then I have some other videos planned as well that I'm excited to share. I know I owe you guys a game room tour. I did the hobby room tour, but I owe you guys a game room tour video. And I also want to do more streams of Xenosaga. I just have had a lot of stuff going on. But thank you guys for coming to hang out. This has been a ton of fun. And I hope you all have a really good night. And I will catch you guys in the next video or the next stream. All right. Good night, everyone.